Hey guys, what's going on? Look, I'm just going to live with you. I don't like going to Walmart right now any more than you do, but it's the only place that carries this new Masters of the Universe Origins line. So I put on my face mask and braved the crowds, and here we are. Now, it's a very retro theme line, that much is obvious. And today we're going to open up both He Man and Skeletor. What a battle! Let's do it. All right, and like I said, very retro themed here. The packages themselves, recreation of those original 80s packages, which I have a very fond memory for, I'm not going to lie to you. And you might be asking yourself, hey, who is He Man? Who is Skeletor? Well, you're in luck. Right here on the package, it tells you that Skeletor is the evil lord of destruction, right? And He Man is the most powerful man in the universe. And they're part of a group, a line known as Masters of the Universe. And there's really not much more to it than that. I always thought that name was so hilarious to me. I could imagine pitching that line against competition. Well, Jim, what are we going to name the line? Well, how about Masters of the Universe? Kind of sets the bar high. Classic 80s style packaging. Back here you can see the other figures in the line. Quick little snippet. You know, pictures here of action poses and their weapons they come with. The art itself kind of reminds me of the comic book that it comes with. The art itself looks a little more metal, a little more serious than the 80s cartoon people typically associate it with. It's a little goofier, a little silly. The comics that the original toys came with was kind of serious, much more like Conan, swords and sorcery, things of that nature. And they're the masters of the entire universe. The packaging itself is a little flimsy on the cardboard side. They're going for kind of bargain packaging here, but the figures are a little cheaper than most figures you're going to find. They're $15 as opposed to the 20 to 30 you're going to find some other figures in. They do come with some accessories. They're kind of packed in the back. They're not really on display. Let's pop those open. Let's get them out. Ha! You cannot contain Skeletor and He-Man with mere cardboard and plastic. It does come with a mini-comic like the original toys, although it is not one of the older stories. It is a modern story with modern art. It's 6 pages long, which, as it turns out, is the perfect length for a Masters of the Universe comic book. He-Man comes with his shield and trusty battle axe. Skeletor has his evil Havoc staff. He-Man comes with the legendary Power Sword, which channels the power of Grayskull. Skeletor also comes with a legendary Power Sword, which channels the power of Grayskull, but it's purple. That's right, kids. In the original toy line, they each came with half of the Power Sword, and the true power of the sword was only unlocked when these huge, nearly naked, muscle-bound men crossed swords. It was very progressive. The swords do combine. On one half you can see one is hollow, the other has pegs, and they lock together like so. The overall design for this line is obviously to recreate that cartoonish aesthetic of those 80s toys where they're just so overblown with muscles that it's almost dwarfish. It's pretty absurd. You can see with the sculpt just everywhere is covered with just ridiculous balloonish, cartoonish muscles. But you know what? That's what they were going for. So good job on that. You can see all the joints are worked in pretty well. They don't really stand out too much. You can pop the sword in and out of the harness back here, which itself is a three-dimensional piece, much like the original toy. And they've upped the articulation on these a lot. You know, you're not going to get quite the range of movement you're going to get out of something like a Marvel Legends, but hey, you know what? These guys are on more steroids than 80s wrestlers, so you don't really need to get them in some of these poses like Spider-Man. As far as specific articulation, you've got the head on a ball joint, which provides for some nice dramatic posing. The shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the knees, even the hips, they're all on a T articulation, which is going to be a peg with a ring on it of sorts, so you can spin them and then also swivel them and swing them. Everything seems to be nice and tight, and although they aren't on double hinges like you're going to see a lot of your common figures these days, it doesn't really limit it. You can get them all sorts of cool, dramatic, muscle-bound, Masters of the Universe poses. I don't find it limiting whatsoever. You can see, much like He-Man's harness here, his pieces are three-dimensional, and you can take those off if the figures are not already nude enough for your liking. And I was surprised to find that he has a nice swivel on the shins, much like He Man, and they also have one of my favorite points of articulation, of course, those rocker ankles so the feet can stay flat. They are 5.5-inch figures, which, as you can see, means that they are a little bit shorter than the Marvel Legends and quite a bit shorter than the DC McFarlane and NECA figures, although somehow they're more muscly. The most powerful man in the universe versus the greatest troll in the universe. Well, that about covers it. However, what is the final grade for He Man and Skeletor? Let's see. What is DQ, disqualification? What? This has never happened before. This has never happened before. This can't be. Hold on a second here. Hold on. The officials are telling me that I am too biased from nostalgia to be an accurate judge on these figures. Really great. That's what we're doing. Oh, really? Seriously? I don't know. I guess I just kind of true. One of my first memories was going to the store and buying these original figures with my grandmother. So I guess it makes sense. But you know what? The updates are simple. They're effective, and they're very quality figures. And I love them. So I don't know. Make up your own grade. That's right. But you know what? Geeks Inherited the Earth is not just me doing toy reviews. No, no, no. There's 4 of us. We have a podcast on Spotify, on iTunes. You know, all the social media stuff. You know what it all is. It's all the stuff. You already know what it is. But you know what? We still have to open this stuff and so much more stuff. So, I don't know. We'll see you soon.